again, all my friends on the interwebs who love miniatures. I am Dakion, it's a Monday, and I'm here to ramble. Today is Monday the 6th of October. We're entering the month of spookiness, and I guess you could call these kind of spooky. Malifaux was always a little spooky. We have the Nephilim, the young Nephilim, the mature Nephilim, and we have the Cherubim. They've been finished, 4 models. I don't know, not a whole lot to say about them, maybe. They're kind of roughly painted, but I think they work fine as monsters. And their bases are a little gribbly and weird, as they should be. And yeah, not a whole lot more to say about that. Let's just move on to what else I'm working on.
So I very nearly managed to clear my work table this week. We have Lilith herself left in her alt version. Now it might look like she's very unfinished. It's basically just the skin and, I don't know, some highlights on the coat. The reason is she looks kind of dark is that there's a lot of skin on her and it has been darkened by a paint spill from other parts of the model. So yeah, and it is a kind of a dark model. It's kind of a dark black or blue black and dark red and all over. Yeah, but this is of course going to be done by next week. No chance of failing that. And yeah, let's just look at the new stuff I have prepped. So I've based and assembled the next batch of minis. We have these plastic Malifaux figures. These are these are from the period of time. I mean, I don't know how Malifaux sculpts their figures these days, but when they went over to plastic, they started making them a lot more three-dimensional in tons of pieces, and sometimes really hard to fit together. And the only reason you can assemble them at all is that plastic glue is very sticky and very good at holding stuff together. So we have these 2 demons, these Lilu and Lilitu, the named Nephilim in Lilith's gang, and then they're attached to these resin bases, not with plastic glue, but with super glue, and they've just simply been glued on. I haven't pinned them or anything, because plastic figures are so light, I figure you don't need it. The pinning is mostly for metal models, because they're so heavy and they might fall off otherwise. But with the plastic, I think they're going to stay on by themselves. But these figures are going to be, I don't know if I can transport them at all to the club to paint them there. I might have to paint them at home completely, because how do I transport this thing with a very thin whip without it breaking? That's really hard. Anyway, here's some heavy metal. This is the avatar of Lilith, sort of coming out of a tree like a dryad. Now, the only issue, so there were like 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Like her left arm had to be glued on, and then her body was glued into the tree. This is non-problematic. But then the base of the tree and the actual trunk, the fit was horrible. And so you can see a lot of milliput work has been done here to hide the join, because it was not the sculpt itself, but how the sculpt was cut up for production was really clumsy, really poorly done for this particular part, for this segment. So yeah, luckily I have some experience fixing those kinds of things. So anyway, just gonna prime them and start painting now that they're all assembled. Now, it being October, the spooky month, what do I have that's kind of spooky Halloween related? Well, I do have these 2 sets from Weird Miniatures, kind of Malifaux related. Actually, 3rd edition. I don't have much 3rd edition stuff. I think only these 2 sets. I picked these up because they were on sale. Really cheap. So they have some, what they call Rotten Harvest special editions. The Rotten Harvest is their version of Halloween. And so they make... These are supposed to be proxies for characters in the game. As it says here, they count as Will-O-Wisp. So there's no stat cards in this box. You're supposed to use the stats for the Will-O-Wisps, for example, but use these models instead. They can stand in. So here's one set, and here's another set. This, I'm not sure what this is just some random monsters that I don't know much about. They probably were introduced since I stopped playing. This, Toil and Trouble, this is Zoraida. This is simply the Zoraida crew set. And you know, Zoraida, well, she's already a witch. What you gonna do? But her minions, her underlings, like, have been changed into Halloween-themed monsters. So Bad Juju, the big zombie, is now some sort of animated kettle with a pumpkin on top, and the voodoo doll is like Prince Totem, and then the Waldgeists, which are kind of tree monsters originally, have been turned into more witches. And then there's some pumpkins you can add. Interesting. So I think I'm going to start with this set, the Beware of the Lights set, and prep that for next week. And save this big set for the finale, the end of the month, when we get to actual Halloween. That seems like a logical progression to me, if logic applies here. Anyway, that was it, this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. And then be back here next week. Same day of the week, same channel, same Dakian. But for now, I'm signing off.